Hello, everyone. It's Rising Ash. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling really well tonight, so I'm not going to be doing any art. I don't know how long I'll be online, if anybody comes online. One of the things I was hoping to do in these live videos when if people were to come in is to have some readings, some tarot readings. I've been freezing cold, so excuse me, I'm bundled up, and you can hear my roommate's alarm clock in the background. And we have Pumpkin with us tonight. Say hi, Pumpkin. Hey, Pumpkin. She's my good luck charm. Yeah. So, the music in the background. So I want to talk about authenticity, about being just where we are at any given time. I'm really feeling under the weather. I've got a deep chest cold, and I'm sore as heck. And I just want to invite you all to come as you are. Just be where you're at. There's lots of things that we can do on YouTube, and although I've been doing art for the last week, one of the things I wanted to do was talk about trauma and dissociation, and another thing I wanted to do was some intuitive readings. It's another thing I do. We're coming into we just had the fall equinox, so that was a time that was important, or a big time. It's been a tough week for some people. I wonder if it's tough for anybody else. And it's been with the hurricane that we had. I know there's been rolling relief from Greensboro been sent out to the west coast, or the east coast, no, west coast of North Carolina for people out there to receive disaster relief. Sit up here. Yeah, that's getting kind of annoying. So hopefully she'll come down soon and turn that off. I thought it was turned off. Anyway, so I guess I'll just talk a little bit about myself. I have the diagnosis of dissociative identity disorder. I have several hundred parts on different altars, fragmented, and I couldn't even begin to tell you all of their names. One of the parts that you've seen in the videos is Ebony. She is the very creative part. She's always doing arts and stuff. Spark is our main driving force, and the Hope for All is his companion. Mandy is our was the main altar up front for many years. She handled college, graduating from college and grad school, and became a counselor. And she's pretty worn out from some of the things that happened at the end of last year. And I'm Ash, so I've kind of stepped forward to carry the body forward and into the new time period that we're going into now. Just dissociative identity disorder is formally known as multiple personalities, and unfortunately gets a bad rap. Most people, if you think of multiple personality disorder and they think of Sybil or the Three Faces of Eve or Jekyll and Hyde, and I think people who have dissociative identity disorder are crazy, and it's far from the truth. Most people with dissociative identity disorder are high functioning and trying very desperately to keep people from knowing that it's something that they struggle with. They can be very intelligent and creative, have very multiple skills, because oftentimes different parts can do different things. They do have periods of time loss, or can sometimes, depending on the amount of cohesion and integration, they may not have periods of time loss, but not most people to have that diagnosis, they do have the time loss at some point. It is not necessary to integrate, but usually that is a goal. The main goal is to increase awareness. And so the awareness of each other's parts of each other, of other parts, awareness of your behaviors, of your behavior patterns, awareness of emotions, of feelings, of sensations, of your environment, of things that are going on around you. And it's, you no longer can really like be an ostrich with your head stuck in the sand. It really is important to increase awareness. And the thing is a lot of people that don't have dissociative identity disorder need to increase their awareness as well, because that's something we as a society and people in general have just really come to come to do. We get on our computers and our tablets, and we stick our heads in the sand, and we bury ourselves in books and in computers and video games and Facebook and YouTube and all these things, and we lose sight of our surroundings and our environment around us, and that is a form of dissociation. So we need to increase our awareness of things that are around us. So part of what I do is, as a counselor, is treat individuals with trauma and dissociation themselves. And people might think, oh, well, you have dissociative identity disorder. Are you stable enough to treat clients? And I am. There are times when I have to take a step back and focus on myself and take care of myself. But then there are times that Mandy is present and comes forward and can do some phenomenal work with clients. It's amazing. I've been able to watch her work with clients, and we as a unit have done some amazing work. And there goes the alarm again. The roommate is upstairs getting ready to go to work. Um, Got my ponytails up today. Oh, it stopped. Good. Okay, so and if you're wondering, if you're just coming on, if you're wondering why I'm all bundled up, I am sick and I've been very cold all day today. It was cooler today in general, 60, 70, but I'm just not feeling well, and so I was very cold. Um, so I was talking about dissociative identity disorder, and you can look it up on YouTube, and you can find lots of different videos and people with YouTube channels that talk about all their selves and their different personalities. And I'm not going to do that on this channel. I could devote different videos to different selves, but if I have one pop up, I'll just say, hey, there's, this is Ebony, or this is Spark, or um, Emma, or whoever, because I it's not that obvious when I switch. Those who know me really well can tell, and even then, sometimes they can't. Um, I've had, I've just we're we're good, I guess, at keeping that under wraps. Um, but even I have had to get better at recognizing when the different alters are present, um, and acknowledging them and recognizing them. One of the biggest things we have learned is that all the alters need is being recognized and acknowledged. And one of the things I wrote many years ago was, if you were meeting somebody for the first time, and instead of shaking their hand and looking them in the eye and saying, hello, how are you? You just didn't acknowledge them, and you didn't look at them, didn't shake their hand, just kind of walked in the room and went about your business. And they're trying to talk to you, and you're just ignoring them. Or they walked into the room and you're trying to talk to them and they completely ignored you. And you're trying everything you can to get their attention and they're just ignoring you. How would you feel? And many of us who have this disorder have had that experience, have had parents who did similar behaviors, or siblings or significant people in their lives that had that kind of a reaction to them. So it can be totally innocent. It's not something they did on purpose. It's just a way of interacting with their child that was invalidated. And so what the alters need at this point is to be validated, to be acknowledged and recognized that they're present, that they're there. And sometimes that's all they need. Sometimes they need to tell a little bit about their story, about why they're present and why why they formed. They need a chance to grow up, to catch up with the rest of the body. If they're young, like 5 years old, why are they stuck at 5 years old in a 43-year-old's body? What do they need to be able to advance to the age of 43 and integrate with the rest of the system? So it's just a matter of having patience, and you wouldn't judge a 5-year-old the way you would treat a 43-year-old. So you have to have patience with yourself, and you have to love yourself first and foremost. So it's important to have patience, really a lot of patience. And there is the roommate. Hopefully she'll turn off the alarm. it's amazing that the less you try to resist the altars that are coming through or pushing through, and you just welcome them and accept them, the better, the less difficulty they give you. Um, Even with all the experiences that I've had, I still have trouble sometimes recognizing that an altar is pushing through or sending me memories or um, asking to be recognized and acknowledged. Um, there are times when I'm just dead tired, sick as a dog, and thinking, it's just I'm sick. I'm just sick. And like even now, there's probably something that I need to deal with. And I'm too tired, too sick to really delve into it. And I save it for my therapist's office when I'm in there and I have time to address it. I do journal. I do the art. Um, and then there are times that I have internal conversations, internal communication, which is absolutely necessary. But some people are dealing with systems of 5 to 12 parts, and I'm dealing with a system of over 500 parts. And sometimes it just gets overwhelming and very loud and boisterous. And it's just, it gets to be too much. So we shut down sometimes. And so we need a break. It's, and I have to be gentle with myself. I can't judge myself and be harsh on the fact that I'm taking a break, because that's just as important as working on it. And I don't know what just happened. We just switched. On camera. So anyhow, what were we saying? And this is what happens sometimes. My thoughts just vacate my head and we are left kind of clueless. And we just have to be patient. If it's going to come back, it's going to come back. If not, we move on. I'm probably going to go for a minute, see my roommate off to work, and I'll come back on 10:30 or a little bit after 10:30. Maybe I'll remember what I was talking about. Okay.